If you are under the age of 18 and you are watching this video, please stop now. This content is not intended for you. Hey everybody, it's Tmika. I am here as a guest designer for Vectoria Designs. It is an online shop on Etsy. I was contacted by Troy, one of the shop's owners, to play with a couple of their digital designs. I decided to settle on the Vintage Writing Junk Journal. I think that this is an appropriate time for me to create a cute little junk journal. And all of the information for this journal will be down below in the description box. If you click that link, it will lead you to a special discount. So be sure to do that. So if you're interested in purchasing this, go ahead and check down below in the description box, as well as being a part of their online community, their newsletter. All of that information will be down below. So I printed my papers out at UPS store, and I did it on a 28-pound cardstock, so it's light. I can fold it, I can sew it, and I can write on it. I did not print out all the designs in the file. I only printed out what I thought I could use, and I think I printed out way more than I needed. So I'm going to show you the paper, and you can always find a discount for UPS, or I always do, like 30% off. This costs less than $10 to print. Before I show you the papers, I want to show you the supplemental pages that I'll be using in the journal. I used some copy paper, regular weight 20 pounds, and I dipped it in tea and coffee. And then I tried to just use different techniques. Some I baked, some I put on top of the stove, kind of to try to get I can't find it right now, but try to get some of that texture on it. Just different textures and feels. I really like the crunchiness. There's one of the ones I put on the stove. I tried to double dip them to make them darker. So I wanted to write on the pages, and I also wanted to add like ephemera, maybe some doodles and stuff on my paper. So that's what I did, and this is how thick that is. I mean, I love the texture of this paper. So I did 20 sheets. I am intending on making 4 signatures of 5 sheets. So let me show you the paper that I printed from Vectoria Designs. I was thinking of using this one as my cover. So I'll have to go and trim off all the edges. And then also I have printed some of the ephemera from the collection. There's library card, there's taped sheets, all these little ephemera pieces. There's a little pocket. Here's some journaling. Not journaling. Well, yeah, you can use this journaling because the back is plain, but just some like little tickets and postcards on here. And here's another sheet of the ephemera. I printed some. I printed it in the horizontal scape, and I just ironed this paper because I accidentally wrinkled the edges, so now I'm sticking everywhere. But this is what this looks like. It has little things you can cut out and distress. You can make this as vintage as you like. There's some page corners here. This little handwriting pen. You can do a lot of fussy cutting. Another little pocket. I like this one. You can do some taping with some, not masking tape, washi tape. This is a fold over page, so this will be a header on one of the signatures. And then here's another one. I haven't decided which ones I will choose, and I may put them back to back. Like this is, I can use as the back of one of the pages. I got it upside down. So like this, and I cut it down so it can have a front and back. That's what I was thinking when I printed this. Or you could fold this over and it could be a plain page. This already has like the distress in them, so you can tell which ones are meant to be, you know, folded. I think this is super cute. Here's another plain page. Really cute little vintage writing journal. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do a full tutorial because this may take a while. I'm a little out of practice. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cut off all the borders of this page, of this paper, and then I'm going to cut out the ephemera that I'm going to use or intended on using. And then I'm also going to fold these in half and cut them down to size so they can equal the same size as this. I did pull just some extra little things that I maybe thought might use. This is a vellum envelope. I have some glassine bags. I have brown and white paper bags. Not sure if I'll use that. Like I said, I may just want a simple journal that I'm going to use for writing and, you know, things in. So may or may not use that. So when you see me come back, this will be cut down, possibly folded. This will be folded. So I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm back. I'm just going to show you a couple of the steps that I've completed. So I've cut off all the perimeter of all the borders from the paper that was printed. I've decided to keep this one as my cover. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and once I make my covers, I'm going to cut this down, like right down the center. And then how I, you know, just kind of keep it rustic or, you know, vintage, I just wiggle my either paper or my scissors and just kind of make a, you know, wiggly little line. So, and then I can distress the edges too. Depends on when I get there. I'll distress the edges of this paper, kind of make it a little bit more vintage. So this is going to be my front cover and this is going to be my back cover. And then I have 2 sheets left that I didn't print. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to need inside covers. So I'm going to use this again as my inside cover. So I'm just kind of going to do the same thing. When I open up my journal, I want something to be on both sides of the inside and the outside. So these two will be the front and the insides of my cover. And then I just have this sheet left, which I won't be using. So we're going to just set that aside. So what I did was take the sheets of paper that I had and I put them back to back. And all I did was use the goodie glue stick. Oldie but goodie glue stick. Goes on purple, clears when it's dry. So I just glued them together, and then I just decide which one I want as the front and the back, and I think I'm going to fold it in, and I just matched up my edges like so, kind of lines everything up with that spine that's already distressed. So this is going to be a signature cover. So that's all I did. I cut them all down. There's a little borders on there, but when I distress that, you can't see like when I just didn't line it up exactly. So this ends up being 4 4/4 by 7.5. So those are all the pages, and I've done all the rest of the signature covers, front and back, and they've all been glued together with the glue stick. So those are the 4 signature covers. And then for the papers that I made, all I did was, again, fold this over to the preferable side that I wanted. Use my bone folder that goes over a little bit better. And then I cut it down to, actually I want this meaty side. Yeah, that's what I want. I like this tea dye stain. And then I can always paint and stuff on it. It looks better when it's, the paper is darker to me. If I'm doing vintage, might as well be all the way vintage. And then I cut that down to 4 3/4 by 7.5. And then I've done that to, like I said, I was going to have 4 signatures with 5 pages each. Oh, I got to cut the rest of this down really quickly. But first, I'm going to feed them on the inside of each other. I had to fold them all separately so we can make sure they're nice and crisp, and then feed them inside each other just like that. And then I'm going to cut it down. Now this won't go all the way through, but it'll give me a guide. Oh, this one went all the way through. Oh, because I have one less sheet of paper. But I used my scissors to kind of finish it up, and I didn't mind if there was a tattered end at all. Alright. So now I have my 5 pages. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 signatures of 5 pages. That's 20 sheets. And then I have my covers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, I cut out some of the ephemera already. I have this cute little pocket. Not sure if I'm going to use it. I just cut out little bits. Like I said, I didn't want a whole like junk journal. Just enough to right, and then maybe decorate a little bit. And I did pull out my little scissors, and I got that handy too. So I'm going to set this little ephemera aside. I still have a lot more ephemera sheets left that I printed. Alright, so what I'm going to do is take my paper signatures over to, well, pull my sewing machine in, and I am just going to stitch right down the middle here, just to kind of keep these. I don't want these sliding out and I'm having to always kind of bunch them together. I want them to be permanent on here. So I'm going to take a cover sheet like so and put all of my signatures together just like that, and then I'm going to stitch one stitch right down, not one stitch, but one row right down the middle of all of my signatures. See how cute that is? So I'm going to do that and I will be back. Alright, the signatures are all sewn together. I mean, it just looks awesome. I decided to flip this one over to the inside. I like this down here. So I've sewn them right down the middle. And I've done all of these, and this is the order that they will go. So now I have to make the cover for it, and I'm just going to use some chipboard to do that. So I'm going to grab some chipboard pieces and cut them down. Okay, so I've cut out my chipboard, and I've cut it out just 1/4 of an inch larger than the signatures. So I have it to 7 3/4 by 5. So it just barely covers my book, which is exactly what I want. And I have a 1.5 inch spine that leaves just enough room. I mean, just enough room to journal. So it's perfect for me. I'm going to wrap this in some craft cardstock. You guys have seen me wrap before, like when I'm doing mini albums. So I'm going to use some double-sided tape. Kind of put these two pieces of craft pages together so that I could fit the whole book on this sheet, this extended sheet rather. So I'm going to do that. Actually, I decided to do white cardstock instead of the craft because when I put my paper against it, the double craft didn't look, I didn't like it. So I'm going to use white cardstock instead to cover my base. Then I'm going to just remove my pieces of tape from the back of my chipboard and apply them to my cover. Alright guys, I have my book all wrapped and nice and neat and clean. So we're almost done here. So now I'm going to get my pages back out, and I'm going to, I think I said this was the cover, just going to do a little bit of a wonky edge just on the edge a little bit, edges a little bit, and then I'll just stress it with my very old ink pad. And I haven't yet figured out how I was going to close it, if I was going to close it, if I was just going to add like a little ribbon or string to it. I haven't yet decided, so hopefully by the time I'm done cutting this paper, I would have figured something out. But I have, I could just leave it open. So again, I'm not sure about that. I'm going to finish cutting these out, and then I'll be back to distress. Right, those are all done. I got my old ink pad. It's a really old pad. It's dry, but what it does is, it's so dry it just leaves like a little brushing, so I can't stamp with it. But what it's perfect for is this, muddying up my edges. It just leaves the perfect, not too much, not too little on my paper, and I love it. Bringing the book back out. This is the cover sheet, like so. Look at that. Look how cute that looks. Actually, I'm gonna, since that's so stark white, I'm gonna go in a little bit heavier with this pad. And I'm going to use this glue stick that's been working wonders for me. I like it. It's a hidden gem. And I'm not a big fan of wet glue or whatever this half wet, half dry glue medium is. But this works. I don't want it to be lumpy. Alright, so put this on my cover. Just like so. I'm just going to use my sleeve in case my fingers are dirty. Ah, that looks so cute. And then I said I had this one for the back, and I'm going to muddy this up again a little bit more. I'm going to use the back of that as a cover so I don't get my table dirty. And I'm purposely leaving the spine out because we got to wrap the sheets around. All done. So now I'm just going to use some string, some twine that I have, and I'm going to tie my signatures around the book, the journal. I'm going to catch it right in the middle, put the twine in there. It's just to hold it onto the book. And then it was there. And then I'm going to bring it around and tie it in a knot. Just like so. I'm going to leave that there for a second. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that just yet. But I'm going to do the rest of the signatures the same way. Alright, everything's all tied here on the side. What would have been helpful is another finger, but I'm going to get these down. This is some really sturdy twine, so I'm just going to tighten these up as best I can. Double knot them. Alright, so I think I'm going to pull all these to the top. All these little strings to the top of this book. Kind of make it decorative. Make it even. So maybe put some beads or something on the end, or some charms, or a tassel or something. But that's how that looks. They're all in there. All the signatures. Super pretty. Really, really nice journal. Let's add some ephemera to this, and then we can wrap this up. Just add some tickets. I'm actually gonna put that little corner. I want to put that little corner right here because I'm gonna write like the date, and just the date. Put like a little pocket in here, little pocket notes rather. In here, add that right to the bottom. I used a little bit of my hot glue. And so yeah, when I do it, I can paint, I can doodle, I can just add, little tickets and things like that, in these little pockets. So yeah, that's going to be super fun to complete. And I have this little vellum pocket here. Maybe that might be a little too big. Well, maybe not. Just use some decorative edge scissors. Cut that down. There we go. just such a cute journal. I mean, I absolutely love this. I'm going to think of something to put on these sides. Let me see what I got in my tassel box. All right, in my little tassel box, I found this one, which I think is kind of cool. But I like this one a lot, too. So I might have to tie those little strings in, and I don't want this to be too, just want it to be simple, because like I said, I'll be writing in it, and I just kind of want it to be in place. So what I'm going to do is tie these in a knot at the top. Got all those together, and then I'm going to thread this tassel through here first, and then I'll clip the charm. Alright, so that's what that's looking like. Really cute. I could do a whole bunch of, you know, add some flowers and all that stuff, but like I said, it's a journal and I kind of want to keep it that way. So I'm going to leave that spine like it is, and I think it turned out super cute. So again, check all the links in the description box. I hope this video wasn't too long for you guys. I hope you learned something. Newbies, you know, like I said, I'm a novice at this, so you can even add a little tie around if you want, like a little leather band or some twine to kind of keep your book journal closed, or what have you. Add a little snap to it. A couple things you can do to keep it closed if you'd like, but I'm thinking I'm just going to keep mine like this. Like I said, it's a little journal. It'll stay by my nightstand. I'll write my thoughts in it and put it down. So again, follow the link down below if you want a special discount, and like the video if you like it, and let me know, have you ever made a journal, or do you journal? If you do, does it help? All right guys, let me know. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.